One of us was not a pro athlete. The other two were. One of us smiles every day.
Yeah, like what? Shut up. What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to Sports Are Fun. I'm your host, Kelley O'Hara.
I'm the personality hire, BJ Beckwith.
And I'm Darian Jenkins, and I'm back, baby.
Let's go. Back in the studio. You've been busy.
I've been a busy girl.
Were you traveling a ton? Because you were doing FIFA Club World Cup.
I was doing the FIFA Club World Cup, which was fun. I did this event with Chelsea in Miami too. Interviewed Cole Palmer twice, which was a trip.
Cool.
Yeah, that was a trip.
You've been doing a lot of men's sports, but we got you back on the women's side.
Back on the women's side.
The good
yeah,
side.
back where I'm comfortable.
Oh man, well I'm glad you're back. It's good to have you back.
Thank you. Thank you.
We got a lot to talk about this episode. WNBA, CBA talks, All Star voting. Euros kicked off, which started with a bang.
Yeah.
Pumped about that. Happy that we have that for the month of July. But first, U.S. Women's National Team. Just finished 3 games. I got this jersey from Sonnet, and I've worn it multiple times since. So shout out Sonnet. Thanks for the jersey. But BJ, you were at the game. So was I. How was the experience?
It was good. I honestly was a little disappointed in Canada. I thought they
Were
were
you?
gonna
Oh,
come.
your
I
other
was
team?
too.
They're not my team, but I wanted more of a rivalry.
How many teams do you have?
I have like a couple. I have a roster.
BJ said that he would cheer for Canada if U.S. got knocked out of a major tournament.
I don't think this is a bad take.
She's not loyal.
Right. Nope.
I'm not.
Let me gagging myself here. But honestly, I thought they would have.
You thought it was going to be a
I
better
thought it was
game.
gonna be a closer game.
I thought so too.
Yeah, like I was really shocked and like in the stands, like love seeing everybody and I love like meeting people. So many people were coming up to me being like, "What are your takes? What do you think?" And I'm like, "Guys, I don't know yet."
I'm off the clock.
I was like, I need to digest. I'm like, the game hasn't started. It's actually before. We're in warm-ups. I don't have a take. So
How are they looking in warm-ups?
I'm like, good so far, so good. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I was surprised Canada didn't really. It never felt like Canada was a threat, which was a little disappointing to me.
Yeah. I feel like they had a couple, not chances, but opportunities in the first half.
Yeah.
A couple.
When they went direct.
Yeah, like got through a bit, went on some breaks, but yeah, U.S. looked really solid.
No,
Yeah.
I was disappointed too. It looked like from what we saw with Canada at what's the last tournament we saw them in?
Probably Olympics? No,
Was
they
it
weren't in
Olympics
the
or
Olympics. Were they in the Olympics?
Was it what's the tournament
Gold
you guys
Cup?
always play in? Gold Cup.
Yeah, so that was last.
Was that the rainy game?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's
but
what I
before-
was.
building from there.
Okay.
I thought they looked so much better in that tournament. Like they actually like were playing
Yes.
Yeah.
gritty
Agreed.
football.
Agreed.
And it kind of went back to like this cold oatmeal football that we are used to with Canada.
Yeah.
And the U.S. is just taken off under Emma. So
No, for sure.
I was disappointed too.
And I was expecting, and I mean, Casey Stoney came out and said that she was disappointed and it was a wake-up call. But I was like, oh, she's going to bring something different to them. And this is the first time I've watched them since they have been under her guidance. And so I'm curious to see where she grows from here with them.
Yeah. I wasn't bothered that they didn't look good, so.
Some of us were really trying to get a bang for our buck and watch a good game.
No, but I mean, I think it wasn't. I don't think Canada looked great, but I think that the U.S. just looks really solid.
Yeah.
They look really strong. They look like they're all on the same page. They all understand what the game plan is, what the objectives are. They're doing the little things right. So I'm pretty pumped. And honestly, my biggest takeaway out of these 3 games is I'm starting to wonder, what is Emma going to do with her depth?
That's what I wonder too.
I actually think it's not a question of like, do we have enough? Are we going to be a strong enough team? It's like, I think it's how does she manage the amount of depth that she now has and has started to develop and has time to develop ahead of 2027.
Like, is it how do you keep everybody happy?
Yeah, it's just like, think about it, because this game, you didn't have any of the European players.
Yeah.
And the team comes out and beats Canada 3-0 pretty easily, looks very good, and you're missing key components. You're missing people out with pregnancy. These are players that are very much so the core of this U.S. Women's National Team. So my question is like, how does she, one, manage player expectations, manage personalities, and then also figure out the right mix to put on the field moving forward?
That's what I was wondering, because this was the first camp with this younger, new faces squad where I actually feel like we saw chemistry between players.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you finally had enough time with this person like Avery Patterson and Michelle Cooper. I was like, boom, I love this connection.
Love it.
Absolutely love this.
Yes.
You both complement each other really well. It makes sense. You're both having fun. You shut everything down on that side. Like literally nothing got through on the right side of the pitch. But then I'm thinking, okay, what do you do when Trinity Rodman's back? When Emily Fox is back? Whereas Avery Patterson to me was like player of the camp.
Yeah, she was my standout player too
Yeah,
at the camp.
like absolutely loved her.
Yeah.
Okay, now how are you managing when Crystal Dunn's back? I don't know. The goalkeeper position too. I'm like, when are we picking somebody?
That is true. I think that is the only question mark that's still out there is the goalkeeper position. I think that the outside back position was a question mark, but it's starting to shape up. I think, like you said, Avery Patterson has done excellent in every opportunity that she's had with the team so far. Really happy Lily Real got in. We got to see her come from having a good beginning of her rookie season with Gotham into the U.S. Women's National Team. And I thought she played well against, especially, you know, like you have to step in and play against Canada on that left side. And I was impressed with how she played.
I was too. I wonder if she'll be a
Consistent.
recurring, call up.
I'm curious with like Carrie Abello coming back and Giselle coming back.
That's
and
the thing.
If
So
those girls are
and that's why I'm like, I think the outside back position is now started to fill out
so scary
the depth
before.
chart. Yeah. And now it's like, okay, we have options. So to me, it's only a good thing in that it requires everybody to push their game and step up and stay at a consistent top level. I also think Rose Lavelle having her back, like, I mean,
the
dreams,
team's
what
completely
dreams are
different.
made of, you know?
The team's completely different when she's on the pitch.
She adds a completely different element to the midfield. But again, think about it. No Heaps, no Johannes in the midfield, no Macario to play off of. And so what happens when they come back?
Champagne problems, baby.
Right. No, it truly is. I do think that's like the reality of.
Who was your like favorite standout though? Who do you think owned the camp? Like, boom,
Michelle
you're
Cooper.
getting called in. Yeah.
Because, and I don't want this to sound harsh, but her club play up to this point hasn't been standout to me. You know, like she's not.
Yeah,
a golden
I think
boot,
she plays more of a role.
Right. She's not like a golden boot in the golden boot standings or running, that sort of thing. But every time this year that I've seen her step on the field in the U.S. Women's National Team jersey, she has very much so impressed me and made the most of all of her opportunities.
Yeah. She looks like I said this about Avery Patterson a couple weeks ago. I'm like, they look like it's an Olympic final.
Right.
Yeah.
Every time they're on the pitch, you would think this game is like the final of some major tournament because of how intense they play. And it's like knowing that this can come and go. And I think those two players, like that right side, I just loved it.
Yeah.
I think they totally grasped this opportunity.
Yeah. And another person I want to shout out that I think really cemented themselves in their spot was Claire Hutton.
Really?
Like I feel like she came in. I don't think she would have.
No. Just because I think the midfield position it's super deep.
It's really deep.
And I think that's why she cemented herself to me, because you're losing Lindsay Heaps, you're losing Lily Johannes, and then she stepped in and without.
Yeah, there's no
gap in
drop
play to me.
in the level of play.
She also
I completely
brings
agree.
height that can help, and that's how she scored her goal. And I think there are some small girls out there, which I'm not trying to be height ableist or anything, but she just brings a different factor and like someone else that can help. She's kind of similar to a younger Lindsay Heaps to me.
No, I agree. I mean, I really like Claire Hutton. I think that she's done a very good job. I love seeing these younger players get the opportunity. You know, I feel like there's probably a decent amount of nerves when you get your first chance, second chance, third chance. For me, I was sitting on the bus going to practice 5 years into being on the national team being like, don't mess up this practice. Like I was nervous for
Don't
practice.
be a drill killer.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
But you're seeing them start to kind of step into their roles and the expectation that comes with playing on this team. And I think they're all doing a very good job.
Yeah, I think so too. I loved that midfield.
No, I know, but
I
then
did too.
Then I
it's
wonder,
like,
is Rose the is she just the key factor? That
and
I feel
therefore
like,
you can put anyone around her and it's going to be, the midfield's going to be great regardless. Yeah, maybe.
she literally adds that much to me in a game where I'm like, any team she's on, she completely changes
100%. She adds an element of danger.
Yeah,
like
and
she's
creativity.
dangerous.
Like people don't know what she's going to do on the ball.
Yeah, you at all times are worried about her getting on the ball with time and space, right? Or even not. Like put pressure on her, she gets out of it, and then she's off to the races.
Yeah, or if you're putting too many people on her because you're so worried. Well, shit, now.
Right, and then she's gonna know that.
Bleep. No. Then all these people are open.
No, for sure. I mean,
I am
again,
excited. The next camp is a while away, so I'm excited
Yeah,
because it's
next
October.
time. Yeah.
So I think this next calling in is going to be really telling because you'll have all your European players back. The players that are kind of injured and coming back slowly
Yeah.
will get the chance to get into full form. So I think this next one will be really telling of who's the, as Kelley likes to say, who's the core?
who's the core?
Who's
and
the
how many
core?
are in this core?
And how many are in the core? How are you going to manage that depth?
No, exactly.
No, but that's a really good question. But I really want to see the goalkeeper.
Who do you think, for you right now, who's standing out as in that keeper position?
I had some recency bias watching Claudia Dickey because I just kind of love her energy.
Yeah.
I do love her energy because she's kind of just like, I don't give a
yeah.
while she plays, and she just acts like real nonchalant. And I'm like, we kind of need that
You're
energy.
into it.
It's also so different than Alyssa Nair. It's so different than watching Alyssa Nair play. So I'm like, you're just a cool cat. Like, I guess nothing phases you, right? But then I'm thinking Valentilles Joyce had more tests.
Right, for sure.
So I'm thinking PTJ.
I think those are my
Interesting.
top two in my mind.
Yeah.
Like that's
But
one and two.
and this was Claudia Dickey's,
First cap.
First two caps.
Right.
Yeah. And the first game she
and
didn't touch the ball.
you're already gonna throw her.
Because I like
the top
I just
two.
liked her the game against Canada. I
Okay,
was
you
like,
like the
I love
vibes.
her energy. Yeah.
Okay.
Who would you do your top? Let's do top three since you usually take three.
I think that Valentilles Joyce is top
Yeah.
for me, just because she had the year sitting out with Man United
Yeah.
under Mary Earps, got to watch her, got to get that consistent training, and then as soon as she was thrown into the number one position and put in a place where she had to be successful, she was.
Yeah.
And she proved that through Man United plays great competition.
Yeah, she got player of the year as well.
Exactly. And to do that, in my opinion, to go from, she was a good keeper for Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
but I wouldn't have been like, oh, she's going to go over to the WSL and win keeper of
Yeah,
the
and
year.
be a baller.
Right.
Yeah.
So to make that step and that leap to me is, I think that she has the mentality. One, you have the foundation of skills, the playing experience, that sort of thing. But then the mentality piece to me is very key in that position.
Yeah.
Don't make me name anybody else. I'm just going to say number one.
But do you think I
That
do
was
want to
really good
ask?
reasoning. I'm with it.
What do you guys think about the ones who are kind of being phased out, like the Jane Campbells,
Yeah.
the Audrey Kingsburys?
Audrey Kingsbury, I'm wondering why she's not called in.
I mean, I think it's even, with Jane, it's kind of like Houston's not doing well.
Yeah.
That's an
But that's not
easy
her fault,
explanation.
you know?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Aubrey's done well.
I think
Spirit's
she's
doing
really good at
well.
playing out of the back.
Right.
She's great with her feet. You've played with her.
Yeah.
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 She's great with her feet.
Yeah.
Like, to me, these seem like qualities.
No, for sure. It will be. I think October will give us a lot of answers around
Yeah.
this because everyone will be available, barring no injuries, and we'll see who Emma
Pregnancies.
chooses. What did you
Yeah.
say?
Barring no injuries and pregnancies.
Well, I'm saying in the keeper
Get
position.
off of our girls.
Well, we have to wait until October to see US Women's National Team again, which is why I wore this because I was like,
'Cause you're
I'm
gonna
gonna
miss
have to
them.
pack it up, put it away for a
Yeah.
little bit, get back out in October. I just want to get one more wear in. But we do have the Euros happening right now. Group stage kicked off, first round. We've already had 2 games of the second round of the group stage.
Yeah.
From the first group.
Yeah. Match day 2 for,
Yep.
including today.
Darian, what are your initial feelings, thoughts on Euros?
I love how much it's grown. I think usually we see so much more, the Portugal game was brutal. The Portugal game was really, really tough. But I think other teams like Switzerland, I've been pleasantly
Right.
very, very surprised
Yeah.
with how well they've done, especially being the host nation. The biggest game with France and
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
France and England, I was like, damn.
Didn't you?
Because I kind of wrote France off a little bit.
Did you? Yeah.
No Wendy Renal, you're not bringing Kenza Dali,
Okay,
really big players.
Question on Renard. Do you think that was a miss, or do you think that was the right decision?
It's funny being on the outside because it's tough when you have somebody that's such a big personality
100%.
like that. So then you
And
wonder,
has been a mainstay,
mainstay.
leader.
Like you don't think about the team without
Right.
Wendy Renal. But then looking at how good they played and how free they looked,
was thinking the same thing.
I'm like, was it a mistake? I don't know. I wonder what's going on behind the scenes.
I don't think so. To me, this is the first time I've seen France,
Yeah.
France is a dangerous team, right? There's moments where they get hot, they look good, they look scary good at times, but then they just can never put the pieces together.
Right.
And the fact that in this game against England scores, it gets called offside.
Which, can we talk
back.
about that?
Yeah,
that
right?
VAR.
That was ridiculous.
That was a little.
Are we pro
Strange.
VAR or not?
I'm pro VAR.
I am too.
Yes.
But also, okay,
But the picture that was being used to like show us like the evidence, it was
Literally the arm.
Elbows.
It was literally like this.
no, I thought they didn't take they weren't considering the arms. It was the leg.
I think it's here, isn't it?
the
you pull it up?
picture they were
Let's
showing
see.
was crazy
Can we
nonetheless.
get some?
It was
let's
like
go over
elbow and
this.
elbow. Like
No,
it
I
just
know
looked,
because I think that the France player's arm was in front of. Okay, so France is in blue. So her arm is in front of the English players, but
Yeah.
below the English player's foot. We're looking at this. You can see this.
Is
if
it
you
the
go
foot
watch.
or is it like where the kit ends on her arm?
No, I think they're taking into consideration, and that's the thing. I'm like,
this is
doesn't-
crazy
because
this
it's
is
not clear and
crazy to
obvious.
me.
It's not clear and
yeah.
obvious.
So
to me.
again, what was the thing that happened earlier this year where I was like, oh, that was news to me. Wait, it was when we were on the
I
desk
found out
together.
we were right.
Wait,
I was
about
with
the- about the-
I was with the
Gotham
pro
game?
referees.
You're kidding?
Yeah, I was with the pro referees doing this event with the Black Women's Players Collective, and I asked because I was like, Kelley and I were saying this is BS because then you have to change how you do all set pieces.
Right,
Like,
yeah, you can't
people
be-
sit offside,
right, exactly.
and you come back on after the ball's touched.
Right.
And they were like, oh yeah, well she made the attempt to clear, so it should have counted.
Right.
If she
and that's
hadn't
what we were
made the
saying.
attempt-
And this is talking about the Kansas City Gotham
Yes.
game.
Yeah,
Gotham
because
game.
it was a poor clearance, and he
Right.
was like, if it just hit off of her, it would have been offside.
Right.
But she attempted to clear it.
Right, because she was trying to. Anyway, we're talking about another
Yeah.
thing that happened earlier this
Right.
year.
We all have
Gotham,
gripes.
Kansas City. We all know we're talking about the crazy game with all of the weird decisions around the referee. But this is another question. Okay, so this game, England-France, I thought that arms counted. Maybe not like out.
I thought
but
like
think
your
it's-
elbow did. Because like think about when you go body to body,
but
like
this
your
is-
your
but
arm.
This is showing that her elbow is all the way in front of everything
Like
in
the
the English
France player
players,
is,
right?
yeah.
So this English player. So then I guess they're only counting maybe beginning of shoulder up, and then that is where. But even then,
it's
it's
still
like,
not clear.
I don't get it.
And
I don't
this is
get
where-
it. Make
this
it
is
make
where
sense.
I'm a VAR fan. Let's just not show the fans because this is just.
Yeah,
Let's just
but-
normalize keeping it a secret.
Okay, so it's either is it torso counts as being the line of
Or is it like the cloth
whatever
on
offside,
her shorts?
or is it because like the English player's foot is in front of the France player's foot, but it's also level with the France player's hip? Like, what are we talking about here? Head, shoulder, knees, and toes. Like, what are we talking about? Truly.
It's not clear and obvious
Anyway.
to me. It shouldn't
Do
have
you
been
think
off.
it should have been a goal?
I'm
Both
getting
of you?
rowdy because I chose England, which was like probably not
Yeah,
the best
you
choice for
last
me.
week
Yeah.
we picked who we thought each person
I don't know
like,
why
was
I
going to
did
win.
that.
And
I don't know why I
Kelley
did
picked
that.
England.
You
I picked
Spain.
France.
Oh, you picked France. I think
okay.
I'm riding with Spain.
Yeah, Spain. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
it's very good. But okay, so that happened.
Yeah.
Back to what I was saying. France handles. Okay, they got scored on, right? You think
Make or break.
Yeah, somebody I was watching it with was like, do you think now England has the momentum because they put the ball in the back of the net, but it got called back? They're like, okay, we're knocking on the door. Or is France like, all right, we got to get into gear and not let this happen again? But then France goes on, and I feel like they weathered that storm well.
Yeah.
France turned around and scored. Was it two before?
Yeah,
the
two before half.
Yeah, before half.
Yeah.
In 3 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
They were, like, quick.
Exactly. But the France goal, the first one, that was a foul on the English player. No.
Yeah. I thought so.
I thought so too. So I'm like, what are we? 100% PJ. She's pulling on her arm.
But
She
the girl who
slide
got found, I think it was
tackles.
Russo. She was pulling too. I
No.
think it was like a joint thing.
I don't think so.
Because they replayed it a bunch of times, and I was like,
I watched it multiple times and I was like, that.
I also thought it was a foul.
I thought it was a foul. So then so then for England to be like, you just called back this hairline, nobody knows actually what body part was offside here, and then to not call the foul.
Like
and I
we're going to
think-
be specific about this shit. Let's
Right,
really
yeah.
sorry, I keep
That's
cursing.
fair, that's
Let's
fair.
be real
I can
specific.
agree with that.
Let's
Right.
be consistent.
But then France is like,
then that second goal,
He's
there
like,
was
okay,
no
it
words
counts.
on the table.
No, I know.
There was no stopping
Yeah.
that.
No, there wasn't. But then,
Sandy
yeah.
Baltimore balled
So
out.
I was impressed with. So that's all to say. This France team looks different from a mentality standpoint
Yeah.
than any other France team I've seen since I've been a player.
Yeah, I think before, if that happened in a tournament, we would see them crumble.
100%.
Everybody starts to play individually.
Yep.
They don't look like they're a team. The body language looks horrible. That's my biggest gripe with France every tournament is I'm like, you have probably one of the most talented squads.
Completely agree.
But it never comes together.
Yes.
You're always the semifinalist, never the finalist.
Nope.
Every
100%.
single tournament.
Yeah.
So now.
Until
BJ's like, until I backed them.
LA.
Oh my God.
I do want to say England was the first returning champions that lost their
Opening
game one, their opening
match.
game. But
yeah,
I don't think that has anything to do, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's been 4 years since they won.
I
All these
thought.
players are different.
Yeah.
It's a different team.
Well, yeah.
Well,
For sure. It's
I
not.
don't really think like that. Like, people on Twitter were like, oh my God. But I was like, this isn't really.
Spain also lost in the group stages of the World Cup. They
Yeah.
lost 4-0 to Japan.
Right.
Oh, yeah. They got spanked.
They got mollywopped by the Japanese.
But I feel like I saw a
then
lot
went
of
on
people
to
talking
win
about
it.
it. And they were like, oh my God, they lost the first game. This is the first time returning champs have
Yeah,
lost.
I mean,
And I just don't think that's a big deal in my.
That's a statistical fact. That's like.
Is that a big deal in your head, though?
No, I
Okay.
think that if anything, this was a really difficult first match,
Yeah.
and for England now, England has the opportunity to be like, all right, we have to blow out these next two games. That's their only option.
Yeah.
They have to win their next two.
And I think they're a team that has that mentality.
Right.
Like, that's been ingrained in that team for the last 20 years.
Yeah, for sure. So, but it's not. I mean, their backs are against the wall now.
Yeah.
You're feeling
I
pretty
think they'll-
good
I
if
think
you're
they'll-
France.
Huh?
Yeah, but the
feeling
thing is,
pretty
I
good
could
if you're
very much so
France.
see
Yeah.
France be like, yeah, we did it.
Yeah. And then take their foot off.
No, truly, don't you think? Can't you, Darian? Don't you think that's like
No, it's
That
very,
would
it
be
is
very
very French.
classic.
It is very, very French. It is.
French women's national team?
Yes.
Yeah, like I can see it happening. Well, who knows what's gonna happen in the group of death? But Esther came out guns a blazing, scored a brace for Spain against Portugal 5-0 to start the Euros.
That
She's
was
on a
brutal.
mission. Brutal because it was a blowout. I expected a better game.
I expected a better game, but Portugal just looked like their game plan was wrong. Like,
Tough.
I blame their coach more than I actually blame them.
Oh,
You
But
can only
don't-
do so much when you're like, why are you pressing Spain?
yeah.
Why do you have a high line?
Off guard. I'm trying to hear them out.
Yeah, no,
I'm trying to play devil's advocate.
no, it's Spain. From the jump, I was like, oh God, I feel like Esther's just gonna sit on the line. Like, why would you not?
Yeah, for sure. And if you're Portugal, you have a Jess Silva that you can play through. You could sit down in a lower
Yeah.
shape, in a a defensive position, and just
Let her
count
run.
on the counterattack.
Yeah.
right. Like, but
It was bad.
didn't. Yeah,
Spain looked good.
I mean-
Esther looked great, making something out of nothing. Like, yeah, she might be the top scorer of the tournament.
oh, she
like-
probably will be.
Kicking off like that,
I think that's her goal
yeah.
because I feel like she wants to be like golden boot of Euros and golden boot of NWSL. What a year that would be for her.
That'd be insane.
and she's. I mean, right
Knock
now
on
she's
some
on track.
wood.
Yeah.
Knock on some wood.
You're like for the Gothams.
For the Gothams. I'm like, Spain? Yeah, okay. Or Gotham? Yeah.
Do you think that Spain having so many players on Barcelona losing in Champions League final, do you feel like they have a bit of like chip on their shoulder? We got to go win something this year.
Yeah. Did you guys see that quote from Alexi Putellas?
What'd
Where
she
say?
which she was like, Ballon d'Or, like, I don't care. I want to win the Euros.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm here to do. I
I
was
feel
like,
like this.
damn.
I mean, yeah. It means more in my
It
opinion.
means more. Yeah. But like,
I'm like, can I not have both?
I mean, I want both.
You just like give me all the individual words.
Can I not have both?
But to me, like, I think with that under your belt of like, oh, we just lost in the Champions League final. Now we all play together, literally no days off
Right.
with Barcelona.
Right.
Now we're going to camp. Like, yeah, I think Spain's gonna run this tournament. Honestly,
I agree. Should have picked them. Shoots and ladders.
I'm sticking loyal.
Les Bleus.
Exactly.
Yeah, and well, not to bring it back to me and BJ duking it out between France and England, but Netherlands looks good.
Netherlands looks good.
Because I was kind of like, okay, I think France and England will go through in this group.
Yeah.
will. I don't, but
I still think,
they're going to.
I think, yeah.
Okay.
We'll see. Time will tell.
Big game coming up on Wednesday
Yeah.
for England.
A team I wonder is Norway. I like expect they have a stacked
They
team.
are. I was watching their first game. It was against Switzerland.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a second. All of those players play
They're
on
all
Norway?
there.
I know.
But they're not that good.
No, because they don't play together. They are of the teams. They might be top 3 most stacked.
Yeah. Carolyn Graham Hansen.
Yeah.
Anna Hegerberg. Freedom Autumn.
Hansen.
Yeah,
Not
Carolyn- yeah.
not Graham Hansen.
Oh,
Plays for Bayern. Outside back.
yes.
Tuva? Something? What's her name?
What
Does
is
she
her
play
name?
Hold on a second. What is her name? She played yeah.
Tuva, yeah.
Yeah.
No, they
Plays for Bayern.
looking at their roster, you're like, oh my God.
Right.
And then
What are we doing,
it's-
girls?
Yeah. Again, I wonder, like, tactics.
I don't know. Sometimes I mean,
Ego?
they've had a history of a bit of like drama on that team.
Yeah, like Hegerberg didn't
Yeah,
go to camp for
exactly.
what, 3 years or something? 2 or 3 years?
And then the last World Cup didn't look good from the outside
no.
from what was going on. So girls,
Yeah, I need
don't
more.
blow it.
I need more.
No, it's true.
They're too good.
Like, why?
They're
That's
way
the
too
thing.
good.
You have all of the pieces. Go put them together.
Yeah.
But who knows? That's us looking from the outside. I'm
Yeah.
just like, you're good.
It's
you have
just
good
like
players.
hard for me to root for the Euros because I'm like, I don't want y'all to do well in the World Cup. I'm like rooting for like
It's
I'm
coming
like,
up. We-
ugh. I'm like, I hope
We
you
have
guys are
2
tired
years.
next year or like the year after. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, we got time.
I know we have time, but I'm like, it just feels wrong rooting unless it's Canada. I don't care.
God. I can't with you in Canada.
It's me and my gripes.
It's gonna be
Canada
friendship
feels so
ruining for
random.
us. Oh my gosh! All right, well, big
Moving from the Euro Stars to the All Stars.
Hey, look at that
you.
transition.
Love that.
All
for
right.
us. Okay, so All Star.
Quit calling it out.
All Star voting. All Star starters were named, and we were able to see where players ranked via fan, media, and player vote.
Just so wild to me.
I know. I'm like, is there a point of
There's
making
almost,
this
like,
public?
It's almost
it's
like too
really
much
wild to
knowledge.
me.
Right. And also it's just like, to me, it's a popularity contest and also
Very much.
And
Yeah.
also amongst players and amongst fans. So it's kind
Very,
of
very
I don't
much.
know if it. I feel like definitely amongst fans,
Fans?
but amongst players, I don't
It's
know if
like-
it's necessarily
it's like who are your
popularity.
homies with?
Yeah.
Like,
I
who are
don't
you
think
friends
so.
with?
I feel like that one's more so.
I think so.
You do?
Don't you? I mean,
I,
a bit, yeah.
I think, I don't even know. I don't know if I would vote for like my friend, but I would be like, oh, she's,
I feel like I would vote for like who's been difficult
She
to
fouled
guard,
the hell
who's
out of
been
me.
difficult
I'm
to
not
and
gonna
like.
vote
like,
for her?
was, yeah, why would I vote for you? You're a dirty player.
Yeah, no. See, yeah.
But, like,
that's why.
Yeah. They
that's why
think
I'm
that's
like,
where it comes into play is like, maybe it becomes a little personal,
right.
But I feel like I would
but
vote
also just like
knowing,
that it's public is wild.
yeah, knowing it's public is wild. But like, you know, like who's been difficult to guard, who gave my team a hard time. Like, I feel like I would vote based off
For
that.
sure, but don't you think some people are sometimes petty and they're like, I don't want to see you shine?
Yes.
no, I like
yes,
to think the
'cause-
best in everyone.
Oh, that's good. I mean, me too, but I know sports.
I do too. Yeah. And I think
That's
I think it can be very petty. Like, wasn't Caitlin Clark voted low by your peers?
She was not.
Look, and I want to say this
Okay,
because
go on.
those CC fans are insufferable. If you're already click-clacking on that camera, on the keyboard, put it down. But Caitlin Clark voted 9th. Makes sense to me. She's not played that many games this season. Based off
Just out
play
for
this
injury
out
and-
for injury, and people have figured out how to guard her. She has a 3-point shot. Put her to her right. What's she gonna do? People have figured out how to guard her. She got guarded really well against Atlanta. Got guarded really well against Liberty.
So she's not that good, is what you're saying.
I didn't say that. Put your hands down. You're trying to get me killed.
Twitter warriors.
I just think
going
against
off.
other players, I think the players see what she can do and now have adapted their playing
Yeah, I think that's
style,
fair.
their defense to it.
That is fair.
And I think
But she also is an all-star captain, so it's
she's
like,
also
That's
captain,
where I'm
yes.
confused.
It's like, I don't
'cause
get
I'm
it.
like,
And I think that's like an.
It doesn't
I think that's a
line up.
fan
that's where I
popularity
think it
vote.
like gets a little gray to me.
Right.
'cause
But I did like I remember
I
a
will
lot
agree.
of people
I think
and
her fans can be a lot.
Her fans were like, "Oh my
I
God,
also
why is
don't
she
like
ninth? It's jealousy." I'm
where this convo goes with like Angel Reese and whatnot a lot of the time with that discourse around Caitlin
Yeah.
Clark. So I wonder if that also has a, I don't know.
yeah, plays into it.
Yeah, because how are you, the captain? You pick your team essentially.
Indy had multiple players in the top of the voting from fans
Yeah.
from the beginning, which I feel like if the game's in Indy, you want to see your players
Yeah.
play in that market.
like, right.
I can't talk about this with you. Oh my God.
I feel like I was spitting facts right then. I was.
what do you guys like? What would your strategy be as a captain? Are you picking a team that that you're like, okay, I'm going out to win? Like, are you trying to win an All-Star?
Oh yeah,
same.
I'm trying to win.
Obviously.
Yeah, I'm not here to have fun.
Not
This is
showing
still a
up.
game.
Not showing up just to like play patty cake. You're like,
No.
we're trying to win here.
I'm here to have fun.
Yeah, no.
If it's me and I'm Fee
Use
or
the sports are
Caitlin,
fun.
I'm going in it and being like, oh my god,
You
these
wanna-
are the people I've never played with.
Okay, so
I've been
you're-
admirers of like,
Oh,
let's
so
say
it's an
Asia Wilson.
experience.
It's an experience to me. I want to play with Asia Wilson. I've never played with her before. I've never played with. I'm trying to think of.
No, I'm
someone
like,
random.
who do I have chemistry with?
100%.
Like I feel like I'm going.
What
in-
strategically makes
What do
sense?
you get
Who do I
anything
want
for
you to
winning
match
this?
up with?
Good question.
They probably do.
If
There's
you,
probably,
if you
like,
don't
some
get, if money's
bonus.
not on the line, I'm just going for like, oh, I admire this person. I want to play with them. I want to get to know them more.
I'm
Money
too
should
competitive for
absolutely
that.
be on the line. If it's not, that's
You think?
I would be
I know there's
shook
like for the
if it's
skills
not.
competitions, 3-point competitions. I know there's money
Yeah.
on the line for those, but like for the actual game, if there's no money on the line, like I'm here to have fun. It's an all-star. It's a fun
I'm still
weekend.
not. I'm too competitive for that.
I'm definitely having fun because I'm winning.
Yeah.
One of us was not a pro athlete. The other two were. But one of us smiles every day.
Yeah, like what? Shut up. Honestly, true.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, if I've got to go put my body on the line,
Yeah.
I'm going all out.
Well, speaking of players getting paid or making money, Commissioner's Cup, they made
Oh.
money from that.
More money than some of their salaries.
Yeah.
No, but
Or close
speaking
to.
of that, why we have to say it when we're drunk on live?
I loved that they said that.
I do too.
I wanted them to say it in a more serious format.
But I liked it
Right.
because it pointed out the
Right.
hypocrisy of it.
It pointed out, but I was like, girls,
Like-
let's do it when we're not drunk.
Whatever. Sometimes
No,
it's
I
better
liked
when
it.
you're drunk, you know? Like it's people are
Who
watching,
knows
you
if
have the
they would have
eyeballs,
said
why
that
not?
if they weren't?
Yeah,
That's fair.
100%.
Yeah, they
That's
probably
why.
wouldn't have
I'm glad it was
said.
said.
And
Yeah.
also, they're probably not that drunk. They just finished the game. Like you can't be.
I know you're
I don't know,
dehydrated.
you're
you just
right,
you just
right,
shotgun some
right.
beers.
Okay,
You're
okay.
throwing
It's like
champagne
drinking
around.
without eating. Like you're,
Yeah.
you're
Okay,
drunk.
yeah, that is fair. That is fair. No, I am glad that they said that because I do think it needs.
But speaking
to
of,
be
we
said.
never even said. So Indiana Fever beat Minnesota Lynx.
Yes.
In the
Yeah.
Commissioner's Cup.
Yeah.
Not a good game.
No.
Not
I
a good
mean,
game.
Missing
it was if you were a
starters, too.
Fever fan,
No,
which you're not.
Say it to the cam.
No, it wasn't close. You're right.
Look at your
It
single.
wasn't close. You're right. You're right. You're right.
It was not an entertaining game
I
to
thought it would be
watch.
better. I thought it
you're
would be.
making me sick.
I know.
You are
I
making
do it
me
on
sick.
purpose. Oh my god. No, I was very surprised at the Fever one.
I was too.
It was an insufferable week on Twitter. Oh my god.
I can only imagine. I don't even get on Twitter.
But like for the Fever, if I'm the Fever,
I'm feeling pretty good.
100%. We
Yeah.
just won. We just beat the Lynx in a game that like people care about. Like the Lynx wanted
Money
to
was
win
on
that
the
game.
line.
Yeah.
Right?
There's a lot on the line.
And the Lynx came out in their press conference before and were like, "We're going to win."
100%.
Yeah.
They were not talking shit, but they were talking it. You know,
Yeah,
like, running
and
that
I
mouth.
mean, Lynx had their full roster.
yeah,
Fever did not.
yeah.
Yeah.
And for Fever to win and to have a like they had the better game plan. They put that together. They won the game. And if I'm the Fever, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Especially
If you're the
without like
Fever.
some of your starters.
But you personally are not feeling good. Yeah, exactly. Without
Personally in shambles.
Personally, I'm in shambles, but I'll be back.
do we think that the curse of the Commissioner's Cup champion is going to come into play again this year?
I
Not
feel
if
like
the
it's
Lynx
hard to
look
like
that.
mentally let go of that.
Yes, because you're like, oh no, we did this and now, but
We
it's
played without some of their starters,
Right.
and they whooped us.
Oh no. This
we
is what I'm
threw it down.
saying. So
There's a curse
what's the
the past
what's the
three.
like running past years? So last year, New York or Liberty and Lynx played in the Commissioner's Cup. Lynx won, Liberty lost. Lynx Liberty in the finals. Liberty won, Lynx lost, and that happened the year prior as well.
Wow.
So if the curse remains, Fever Lynx will be our final.
Do you think that's going to be the final though?
No.
I was gonna say I don't.
But
I don't actually think
maybe.
that'll be the final.
I mean, I think Lynx have a better chance of being in the final than the Fever.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think
I can hear it now.
they want I don't care. I think that I'm basing that off of
Someone's got a BJ
Oh,
voodoo
wait,
doll.
right. Someone's voodooing me.
Yeah, someone's stabbing
your
you
voodoo
right
doll's
now.
probably so cute though.
It
It's
is.
probably stabbed right now.
It's
like,
got
put your
one
pitchfork
arm.
down.
The blonde is like shaved off
So
on one
scared.
side.
Oh my God. Okay, so I think the curse will remain? No, because I don't think it's going to be a Fever Lynx final. But that would be what I said before this game. Mm-hmm. And now I'm kind of like, maybe. But as a Liberty fan, I'm like, no.
Yeah, I feel like New York is going to have something to say.
Right. But it just, to me, like this final really sets up the second half of WNBA season. And it's just going to be bonkers. And playoffs, I think, are going to be wild.
Yeah, I think even if you're the Lynx looking at that, knowing, like, you know those superstitions going into matches, going into games like that, not matches.
Matches.
I've been on the men's football side for too long. Everybody yelling at me on Instagram.
Free her.
You're please. But I think when you have that in the back of your head, like, okay, this is the team that goes to win the final, then, like, I think that gives you a little extra,
you're kinda like, okay.
Yeah, some sort of extra energy.
Yeah,
maybe it's not against the Fever. I don't think it will be, but
yeah,
it's a nice little like boost. I think that gives
right.
you.
Okay, but returning to the celebrations and them being drunk and on Instagram Live telling Kathy that they all need to be paid more, which they do.
Kathy.
First of all, I have to say,
God damn, I don't want to be a Kathy.
I don't want to be a Kathy.
Dude, being a commissioner is hard.
Mad. Yeah.
I mean, has there ever been
Everyone's
a commissioner that people
unhappy.
like?
I don't know. Not for NWSL.
No. Well, like, it's just like you are the fall man.
Yeah, you're always in the wrong.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like being a referee. Someone's always going to be mad at you.
Yeah, like you either are, no.
Yeah.
I agree. Tough
But
spot to be in, but you know
signed
what?
up for it.
Exactly, yeah.
don't care.
You're
doing
the
well.
job description going into it. Anyway, she'll be fine.
Kathy gets a lot of money, so I think she's all right.
I'm very happy that the Commissioner's Cup trophy is an actual cup. And they get to drink out of it.
Yeah.
And that they utilized it as the drinking vessel that it was meant to be when it was designed. If you are designing a trophy, design it in a way that the players can drink out of it. The NWSL.
I'm with that.
No, listen. Don't as players put it on us after we've played 90 plus minutes of football or whatever game we've played to then figure out how we're going to use this trophy in our celebrations.
Did you feel like pressure from that?
No, not pressure.
Besides
But
just
it's
like holding it up and somebody
but here's
carrying
the
it like a
thing.
toddler.
NWSL champion trophy, gorgeous. They did a fantastic job. Tiffany's, NWSL, great job, great. But there's no way to utilize it in the drinking ceremonies.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't want their...
No. Christy Mewis, and here's the thing. Even if you don't make it drinkable, we'll figure out a way. Christy Mewis, post-2023 final, we're in the locker room. She was like, come do a beer luge off of the trophy. And she figured out like the little lines on the NWSL championship trophy are like, they're kind of concave, so you can just pour the beer down and
it'll funnel.
doing a beer lunge, or beer luge off of the trophy.
You know what I have to say to that? Women in STEM.
I know, exactly. You're welcome. We
I love
figured it
that.
out. So future champions, that's how you drink off the NWSL championship
Trademarked.
trophy.
Christy
But make it a mug. I'm with that. Make it something to drink it up. Make it a what do they call
Yeah, it's like
what am I thinking
it's
of?
a cup.
It's a Game of Thrones.
Yeah, a goblet.
A goblet.
A goblet.
Is that what it's called?
It's a gauntlet.
Goblet. A gauntlet is where you like fight somebody.
Oh.
Oh, a
Sorry.
stein.
Sorry,
Yeah.
that's Game of
I've never
Thrones.
even heard that word before.
But anyway, I was very happy to see the Commissioner's Cup was an actual cup that
I
they
was
got rowdy. Should we talk about Caitlin Clark's shotgunning skills? Can we pull that up?
I gotta
real fast?
see it.
I know, I actually didn't see her do it.
I did, and I'm gonna be completely honest. When I watched it first, I was like, little slow.
Can you
I'm not gonna
shotgun?
lie. I
Yeah.
do love a shotgun.
I would love
think you
to
could
challenge
be-
Caitlin Clark to a shotgun.
I
Maybe
would too.
maybe the video is it's not giving me the accurate timing, but like I don't know. I thought that I wasn't
This is a good
impressed
like 5 or
on-
6 seconds.
I wasn't impressed on the speed. But you know what? Glad she shotgunned.
And if,
Good for
what
her.
are your ideal shotgun, like, put us in this scenario. Take us there.
What do you mean?
What do you want? You want a cold drink? Do you want...
Oh yeah,
what do we
yeah,
do?
it's
I
gotta
don't
be
want
cold.
I don't want freezing cold because then it's
it
it's gonna
hurts.
be a brain freeze. I want definitely chilled. I want probably like
a light beer.
light beer, a Bud Light, a Miller
Yeah.
Light, Michelob Ultra, whatever,
Coors.
Coors Light. Hit me with one of those. I need the hole to be sufficient.
Right.
And
When
I-
it's too small, that's where you get screwed over.
100%.
Yeah.
I also need to be cracking it in a way that it is functional to then start the beer chugging.
Yeah.
Because sometimes if the hole is off from the tab, it's tough.
Yeah.
So do you
Like
think
you have to
would...
twist it. You have to pop it
Right,
when
it's
the
like-
hole's
yeah,
over
it's
here.
like I'm
and you're
not-
like, Well, now I've got to do
my
like arm
dexterity
gymnastics.
isn't. I'm a foot athlete person, so
Yeah.
like I can't do
Would
this.
you guys beat Caitlin Clark in a
I think I
shotgun?
would.
I would.
Yeah, let's go.
I absolutely would.
I do. Should we? We should maybe. Let's see. Here's the thing: is I didn't see.
Are
her
we about to
crack
shotgun
it.
beers?
We didn't see her crack it. So I'm kind of, and also
Oh.
is she shotgunning a truly? What's a neutral?
Brutal. It's like
Like
a truly. That's kind of brutal.
That's a no for
That's
me,
like
Bob.
syrup. Yeah, that's syrup.
But no, I loved I love their celebrations.
Sydney
love
Colson
that they
on
were-
live.
I love Sydney Colson.
Hilarious.
I love Sydney Colson.
Sydney
Hilarious.
Colson doing anything.
Yeah,
sign me
I
up.
follow
I
her
will
on
be
TikTok.
watching.
She could
I
read
love
the phone
her.
book and I'd
She's
be
so
giggling.
funny.
Like, for real.
What did you say?
She could read the phone book and I would be giggling.
Yeah, I'm just like,
I thought you said she
Sit
could
there.
be drinking whole milk.
Oh,
I was
that's
like,
that she could drink that too, and I would laugh. So I don't care.
what a rant.
Oh my god.
No, she's hilarious.
She's
I
so
love
funny.
that she went live.
Obviously.
Because it's so fun when you get to see players like unfiltered.
Yeah.
And she's very much like that. So you see other players around her and we get
Right.
like a peek inside of
You're getting
actually how
cameos
they
from
are.
different players.
Yeah.
for sure. She
was
brings
doing,
out.
She was doing the God's work.
Yeah.
The Lord's work.
Yeah, she brings out the best in her teammates in the best way possible, in my opinion. She's fun. I think that's it from WNBA.
Well,
Do
no,
have
because we
anything
didn't
else?
talk about. Kathy had a rough, go about
Oh,
it.
we
gotta
talk about
lately,
CBA.
but
All right, so
Kathy again.
Kathy got called out on Instagram.
Oh God, Kat.
It was a tough week to be a Kathy.
Speaking of the drunk players. Speaking of post shotgun era.
Sorry, Kathy. And then also, so it sounds like the WNBA Players Association had their first either CBA exchange or proposal with the WNBA. And it, from what we can gather, it does not sound like it went well.
Yeah.
Yes, BJ.
Hear me out. When you go into negotiations,
Right.
you send the low ball. If you're the employee.
Right.
If I'm the WNBA, I'm sending out the low ball. I'm trying to see how low they'll go. Like, because what if those women just were like, all right, cool, we signed. We're good. That wasn't the actual offer.
I think you're going high. If you're
Or
if you're the- if you're the players.
players are
going
going to go
high.
high.
Yeah.
WNBA.
But the
is going
WNBA as
well.
an association,
Yeah.
you're going to throw the low.
100%.
Because you want to see like, oh, how much are
Yeah.
we going to gauge?
How can we bend?
So I do think this was meant to be offensive. I actually really do. Because then the players are going to meet in the middle. The WNBA is going to meet in the middle. And they're actually both going to get what they want.
I think players have such.
You should be a lawyer.
Thank you. Call me.
I think with the players though, now that there's such a public format, like to be able to go to Twitter now as a player, where it's
yeah.
like 6 years ago, no one really.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have picked up the same like
yeah.
news outlets, places to talk about this, people championing this change. So now you can go and say, well, do you want public hate? Do you want to get more public hate right now? Because I'll just go
Right.
tweet about how bad this your
Negotiation-
proposal
yeah,
back was.
yeah, their response was.
But
yeah.
it is to be expected.
100%.
It is.
I mean, CBA negotiations, that's why they're starting it now.
Yeah.
It
And
takes
when
a
will this
long
go
time.
into effect? The CBA?
It would be 2020. It starts for 2026. So basically,
Okay.
they're trying to avoid
Not
a
that long of a
lockout.
turnaround, though.
Right. It's actually
Yeah.
not. I thought that they would have started sooner. But again, we only know from the outside what's available to us. We have no idea what was proposed from the player side, what the WNBA came back with. I think what you said was accurate in negotiations.
Yeah.
The reality is,
Lawyer.
most negotiations, nobody walks away feeling like they won. They
Yeah.
just feel like, okay, we both are okay
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
this. And that's when you know that you did it right, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we all want to win, but without knowing the nitty gritty, there's no way to know, what is
If like asks were outrageous
right.
or
Yeah. So
And
it's
do you
hard.
think once it is signed on both parties and everyone's in agreement, do you think we will hear about like what the asks were and like what they came to agree on, like what
That's
the
a good
difference is
question. I
between
don't-
season to season?
I don't know, because NWSL you don't.
Yeah.
I don't know
you
if
really
US
just
national team like that became public, but I think you can
No.
like gauge probably what something
Changes,
came from.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we'll know the CBA. The CBA I assume will be made public.
Yeah.
NWSL CBA is public. So
Is the past one right now that they're under public?
I would assume
We'll have
it's
to look into
public.
that.
Yeah.
We'll have to compare the two.
But yeah, I mean, again, dude, CBA negotiations are, I feel for the players because they are so exhausting.
Yeah.
And time consuming, and
While you're
work.
playing.
It's work, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah. So you have a second job outside of your playing, amongst the many other things that these players are doing, trying to negotiate the CBA. So I feel for them. It's probably going to be, hopefully not a super long or bumpy road. It might be. And they, as players and a players association, just have to be ready to be like, these are our non-negotiables. This is where we draw the line, and stick to that and stay unified, because power is in the collective when you're doing these sorts of negotiations. So, I mean, I'm glad I don't have to do it anymore, but
we support y'all.
yeah, exactly. Like, you know, it just, yeah, it was long, hard days. And it's just, the reality is but you're trying to get the best outcome for yourself in the moment, but also for the future of the sport.
Yeah.
So,
And speaking on that, like, we had the 2 player reps kind of had a little discourse this week, because a fan tweeted, the player reps are Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart,
the vice presidents of the
vice
PA,
presidents
yeah.
of the what?
PA.
Of the PA.
Yeah. Or
Player
is it
Association.
the CBA negotiation committee? PA. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're the ones. Okay.
Yeah. So a fan came out and said, so let me get this straight. Brianna Stewart is the WNBPA president. Nafisa Collier is VP. They co-founded Unrivaled, a league that benefits if there's a WNBA lockout, and they're the ones leading CBA negotiations. How do you negotiate in good faith? Make it make sense. And then Nafisa came out and said, so let me get this straight. While everyone else was enjoying fireworks, you were thinking about how me and Stewie, of all people, are conspiring to force a lockout that would result in less money year-round for WNBA players.
I love the sassiness.
Yeah.
back.
I mean, I like that Fee went back on
Yeah.
it, but I do understand the fans' question.
Yeah. And I don't think it was a
That it's a
question
big
on
conflict.
their morals. I do think it was just a question of addressing conflict of interest. Because
Right.
if there is a lockout or a standstill, you
For
could just do
sure.
another season of Unrivaled.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. So, I mean, I think the fan kind of being the eagle-eyed person that they were, and being like, wait a second, make this make sense. I get that question.
I don't think it's unfair.
I think it is a question of, like, is this a conflict of interest? Ultimately, I assume the players voted them into those positions. I think Fee and Brianna are vice presidents, not
They're both
president,
VPs.
VP.
Yeah, like co-VPs.
Right. But it's a fair question. I mean, I don't think that they want the WNBA to be locked out, but the reality is Unrivaled is a competitor to the WNBA, even though maybe they're trying to say it's not, and like you could probably say that it's complementary, but I mean,
And speaking
No,
positively on
they
them,
would
too.
profit because more players would do that. Say if that did happen.
yeah, but
I
and
get
you'd
it.
have like the fan eyeball, you know, you'd have everybody again. Unrivaled happened in the offseason of the WNBA,
Yeah.
so again, I see it as a compliment, but I think that some people that are around Unrivaled probably see it as a, like, could this be
An opportunity.
Yeah.
But speaking positively on them, I mean, Unrivaled ended their first season, and there was a bunch of positive player comments about how good they were being treated.
Right.
So if I am a player, I guess I would vote Brianna, Stewie, and Nafisa.
That's what
because
I'm
they just
saying.
made a great league that I really liked. And I want them to
100%.
bring the things from Unrivaled to the WNBA.
Well, and
so.
you're making money.
absolutely?
Like, you're making money. To me, I like her clap back because it's like, this is what we're thinking about right now. Like, do you think my intention is to lock out the WNBA so players don't get paid? Like,
Yeah.
I'm creating this tournament so players do get paid.
Yeah.
For
Like,
sure.
What are we nitpicking about?
For
Yeah.
sure.
And I think
Well,
it's valid
on
on
the
both
fourth.
sides, honestly. Like, I wasn't like, oh, this should not be asked. This is insulting. I do think it was a fair statement.
I do too.
And I'm not upset with her clapping back either.
Me either. But I think that, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if anything more like comes
that
out.
escalates.
Yeah, around this. But
Yeah.
again, I think did you say it? One of you guys said it, that, you know, Stewie and Fee built Unrivaled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they built this incredible league from scratch.
From a player's perspective.
Right. And
Yeah.
so putting them in a position that can help build or design the future of the WNBA, to me, is a no-brainer from
Yeah.
a player's point of view. I would want those people in the negotiating rooms, making the decisions, making the arguments on behalf of the players, because they
100%.
Have
show
experience
that
doing
they,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
can, they
We
know what
works,
they're
but
doing.
know what doesn't.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
is it a conflict of interest? Maybe, but also I would
Is
want
it
those
a good conflict of
Yeah,
interest?
like,
Honestly, too, like, they'd be like, all right, y'all, we gonna go back to Unrivaled real quick. Like, maybe you kind of want
guys
them on the
figure this
ground
out.
anyway.
Yeah. Also, maybe that is it. It's like Uno reverse card. The players are like, we're gonna put
They're like, put them so they can start
founders
doing
of
Unrivaled.
Unrivaled in the decision making power. So like,
we get money either
Yeah.
way.
WNBA feels a little pressure because
Yeah.
they know that they have to make this deal.
Yeah.
Or
Level up.
They have an option
Yeah.
outside of it.
Right.
Anyway.
They're playing checkers, they're playing chess.
Yeah, exactly. Love it. Well, hopefully, they come to a decision or an
Kinda
agreement
want, like
sooner.
a reality
I hope it
want
comes
or
soon.
something, like a behind the scenes.
I know, I would
want
see
a little
love.
Yeah, I want a little like
You want some inside?
yeah.
Yeah. Can we get some BTS of the negotiating
yeah.
room?
Let me tune
Man,
in.
You wouldn't believe some of the things that happen.
like
in
a
there.
courtroom scene where they're like drawing it. You know what I mean?
Like court TV.
They're
Yeah,
sketching.
court TV,
They're sketching the
sketching.
Zoom.
They're sketching. Right.
Like sitting on
I'd be sad.
off someone's laptop.
The TikTok
the
reporters
16
are going in.
boxes.
Like,
Yeah.
come on, help me out. I'm onto
Oh
something here.
my gosh.
Well,
Wait, I
y'all
have
were
to go
worried
to
about
the-
what Fee was doing. I was worried about what table I was going to sit at the 4th of July because JWS posted a which table at the 4th of July barbecue are you sitting at graphic. And we have 5 tables. Should I just read off each table?
No, they can go
gonna
look at the graphic.
Right. Oh,
They'll
do your
put it-
homework, I guess, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Come watch on YouTube. It'll be
Oh,
up,
I was
right?
reading it the wrong way.
here.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Kelley has a table, though.
Come on.
All right,
I did not
Kel.
pick your table.
Come on.
You were in my thoughts.
Kelly,
And
I
prayers?
don't know if I would.
No,
pick
you were
your
in my
table.
thoughts. Like, this is like an I Hate BJ episode.
Listen,
But no.
Am I sitting at my own table? Yeah. I'd hang out.
You don't really have a choice.
Okay,
You're
wait.
sat.
Okay, wait.
You
but-
have an assigned seat.
Don't worry, you're sat. I'm
yeah.
going
Okay.
table 5.
Table 5?
This was a very easy decision for me personally.
What is it?
Guess.
Is it 1?
Yeah,
Table one.
100% one.
Angel
Table
Reese,
one.
100%
Sonnet.
one.
I'm sat with
Coco
Coco
Gauff.
Gauff,
That
Angel
table
Reese,
was
and
made
Emily
for you,
Sonnet.
I feel
Yeah.
like.
Right. Twin.
Yeah, table 5 is my number 1.
That makes sense. Table
Yeah.
5 was Sha'Carri Richardson, Paige Beckers, and Simone Biles.
Yep.
We got to talk about
gotta
somebody
talk
sitting at
about-
your top table.
We got to talk about someone sitting at my top table who's now sitting at home.
Yeah.
Coco
Is she at
Gauff.
home?
Unfortunately, Coco Gauff did get eliminated in the first round of Wimbledon.
This was
It was brutal.
It was a tough blow. But not just her, all of the top 5 world's tennis players, except for number 1, Irina Sablenka, have been kicked off. Or that's harsh, but
Lost.
kicked
Lost.
off.
They
You're
lost.
too Love Island.
You've been
too
watching
tuned
Love
into Love
Island.
Island.
I
got
am
kicked
off the
Dude,
island.
are you serious?
You must
Got
immediately leave
kicked
the
off of-
villa.
They got kicked off
Right.
of Wimbledon.
I'm so sorry. Coco was voted out of Wimbledon. She was voted out of the villa. But all the top 5 minus
Out of the
Irina
Oh
have
my.
been voted off.
Yeah, dude, I
That's
was
so tough.
very sad.
It was
about
tough.
this.
But honestly,
honestly, what?
my main thing.
Because I want you to be honest.
No,
right now.
honestly. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yes.
Opportunity. I'm full of
I'm
gratitude.
feeling really gratitude with this. But I was shocked because these big slam tournaments are so close together.
Yeah, they're
And
back
so
to back
it's
to
back
back.
to back to back. And I know a lot of people, when Coco lost, were like, she was too busy doing her victory tour. She wasn't focused and locked in enough. But I'm like, why would you not do a victory tour? Like, why
the
is this so
point.
close?
How old is Coco as well?
Like 21, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she got stamina.
time.
She has
Yeah.
endurance. She
But,
can do the victory
yeah,
tour.
Like,
that
let
has
her
nothing
do
to
the
do with
victory
it.
tour. But
She's
also,
Gen
I'm
Z,
like,
like-
for all the players, you just played weeks worth of tennis at the French Open, and now you're doing weeks worth of tennis at Wimbledon, and then next month you're doing weeks worth of tennis at the U.S. Open, and this is only
can't wait.
counting if you're in singles. You could be in mixed doubles. You could be
Right.
in doubles, doubles, singles. So it's just like this is a lot of tennis compacted into a summer.
I got to tell you a secret.
What?
That's professional sports.
I was gonna say, like, even thinking,
But to
listening to you
me-
say that, thinking about like soccer, you're in 3 tournaments throughout your season.
Hear me out.
Let's hear it.
To me, these are each one of these, the U.S. Open, the Wimbledon, French Open. Each one to me is like a World Cup in this sport. So I'm like, those are spaced out. I mean, the producer's shaking his head, but as a fan,
I mean, listen, yeah, and they're also playing tournaments in between, right? Like they're
Yeah.
going to,
Yeah. Just
but
on, like, a
that's just
smaller
the
scale.
reality
in my
of.
head, these are World Cups. Those other mini tournaments are like she believes.
They are.
Looking at you in the U.S. Women's National Team kit.
It's like, oh, we want to win, but like it doesn't matter as much. Whereas like World Cup Olympics, you're coming in hot. You're coming
100%.
in to win.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world. If
Tennis
you,
is so
you know.
individual, though.
Right.
Like, it's,
Yeah. No, for sure.
I think it's so different. And yes, I think that's just the tale of being a pro athlete. Like, you're not gonna win. I mean, it's incredible if you win every single thing throughout the year, back to back to back like that.
Yeah.
But
You're
in
not- are you not
reality, it's
expected?
like, no.
And
At
do you
least from
think-
my perspective as a
Yes.
as a spectator of the sport, I love tennis.
Yeah.
I don't think you're expected to win every single Grand Slam. I think there are some
Realistically,
that
though,
like
if you're Coco, what were you going into this tournament? You just hot off the press of like winning
Yeah.
the French Open.
Okay,
What
but
do
here's
you-
the thing. So to follow up on that, I think that's why in the past you have these players that set themselves apart because they can go back to back to back or win multiple slams in a year or win, what is it, when you win all four, the Grand Slam or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's the difference of like you're a great or you're a really good tennis player and an excellent legendary, like a Serena Williams tennis
Yeah.
player, you know? So I think, I mean, like you were saying, Coco's very young.
Yeah.
She's got plenty of time. She's probably, I mean, I think that there's a chance that we could see her do a Grand Slam, win all four in a year,
Yeah.
win back to back, that sort of thing. But to go from winning the French Open to then being knocked out in round one, in my opinion, it's like, I don't know if there's any injury or what, maybe like you guys are talking about the victory tour, press tour, whatever. But that is still the piece that she's missing, the consistency,
Yeah.
right? And that's just
Happens
the
when you're
reality.
young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's,
That's
just
just
the
you being
reality of
young.
it. But what's so exciting is she, like, that is still possible in her future.
Yeah.
But it is very, very hard. And that's the difference between great and legendary.
yeah, facts.
And I want her to be legendary. And I think that she can be.
I think she can be too. I feel like this was a big wake up call, maybe of
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
How do
maybe.
you manage yourself
Right.
after a win? How do you recover well going into another tournament?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
how do you shift your focus? Like some people need to be like isolated. I'm not on social media. I'm only doing this, blah, blah, blah. And I think she's still so young. You have to have time to figure that out.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, truly how to
And-
manage yourself.
Yeah, and you go from clay to grass to hard court. And that's also really difficult. Some players are way better on clay than they are on grass, than they are on what are the hard court, the
Yeah.
regular court, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Cement. What is that? I don't know. But yeah, so I was like watching it, just being like, no, please, somehow come back. Like,
It's
I know.
please don't.
And it was straight sets.
Yeah.
I know, and I'm like,
was-
I
it was
love
quick.
watching
It
her
was quick.
play, and I was just like, I mean, there are other Americans left, but like, I just,
No, we
I know,
love
yeah,
Coco.
we just love
love
Coco.
I just
We
wonder how
do.
much of it is like coming into that was a mental thing
yeah,
after such a
potentially.
high.
But what's great is we now have the U.S. Open. She'll be on
She'll
Revenge
in New York
tour.
soon.
home soil, baby.
Yeah.
Time to light it up.
I'm gonna light
Yeah.
up. Are you rooting for anyone specific now in Wimbledon? Either
Ben
of you?
Shelton.
I feel like I'm going Sabalenka.
Oh my God!
Really?
Really?
I just love a
No,
head
he has
case.
no loyalty, babes. No loyalty,
know.
babes. Whoever's hot right now, follow.
Wait, she did have a really funny quote where she was like, it was like post match, and then they were like, "There's been a lot of upsets," and she was like, "I'm hoping that doesn't happen anymore." Because
yeah.
like
You
she
said
was like, "Love to the girls, but I hope that don't happen to me."
Okay, but do we think there's any part of it, like, or do we think TikToks with competition for Coco is off the table now?
I'm kind of superstitious. I would be like, yeah,
You're like, no,
more.
absolutely not. We're
No
not talking.
more.
We're not looking at each other. We're not
yeah,
interacting.
like, hi. Good luck.
Absolutely not. No more TikToks. What are we doing? BJ's like, no, we keep.
I'd be
BJ loves the TikTok.
superstitious.
He lives for Coco's TikToks, so
I
he's
do.
hoping that's not the case.
I don't think like she should go into it next time being like, no victory tour. I know this, know
Yeah,
that. Like I think
of
she should
course.
still victory. I mean, we didn't see her 24 hours a day. We don't know how much work she was still putting in, but I don't know. I wouldn't think like that was the reason she lost, and like that's the reason she's out.
No, I'm kidding, obviously.
You can never tell with you.
Keep you on your
But
toes.
I don't know. Maybe super. No, because I'm gonna win again and then make another TikTok. Like I'm sorry.
Oh, TikTok right after you win? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was talking about the Sabalenka TikTok.
Yeah. She was
No,
talking
but like
about.
still, I think they needed to do that.
It was good.
for
Yeah,
the
it was good
squashing
for like
beef.
PR
For
or
world
that was
whatever.
for PR.
Yeah,
that
like everybody
was-
let it go.
Right. No, I think that was necessary.
I'm superstitious.
That was like
I just
world
wouldn't do
peace.
it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was for the good
It was
of
for the good of tennis.
tennis, the sports world.
Women's sports.
There you go.
The likes.
The likes,
Right.
the
Follow.
views.
You won't be a tennis player forever, but you could be an influencer.
True.
Oh my God. All right. Well, that being said, you can't be a tennis player forever, but you can be an influencer. We've got another great week of sports ahead of us. The WNBA season keeps rolling with some key games this week. We have the All Star draft on Tuesday. So wait, that's live. So we get to watch.
So I'm going to do it for you.
Yeah.
It's tonight, but we're filming tomorrow, so it's today. It's more.
Were you trying to be me?
Yeah.
Well, what BJ said, it's today. if you're listening to this on Tuesday.
But we're recording on Monday, so it's actually tomorrow for us. But
The Lynx and the Sparks are playing on Thursday, and the Wings and Fever on Sunday. The Euro group stage is going on in games. We have England versus Netherlands on Wednesday. That'll be a huge
Big
game.
match.
That will determine the fate of England in this tournament. So make sure you tune in. I think that's at 3 or noon. 3.
I love that they're early.
I know,
Oh my
thank
God, I love
God.
that they're early.
I know, it's so nice.
so
so
nice.
nice.
We're blessed. Spain and Italy on Friday, and Sweden and Germany. Ooh, Sweden and Germany
gonna
on
be
Saturday.
big.
That'll be really good. And like we keep saying, there's no better time to be a women's sports fan. So thank you for tuning in, being with us here today, giggling, chatting, like, comment, subscribe, follow, high five, TikTok. Do your thing, y'all. See you next week.